Welcome to your online timekeeping training video. The next 15 minutes or so will provide information on how to navigate through the site as well as perform specific functions. Please obtain the login links as well as your ID and password for the timekeeping system from your timekeeping provider. Before we delve into the administrative portal, let's take a look at the Employee Self-Service option. The Employee Self-Service portal is a convenient way to empower employees with self-management permissions via the internet. The first page is the Welcome Dashboard, which contains announcements and statistics specific to the employee logged in. Announcements are messages that the management team would like to share with the employees, such as a company lunch, annual review appointments, and so on. The employee can access various pages from the left menu. The first is the Web Clock, where the employees can clock in or out, or if applicable, they can enter additional information such as a job, department, tips, mileage, or anything that applies to your company's requirements. Next, the employee can perform a number of functions through the time card. Primarily, they can view their hours worked. Depending on the permissions given, they may be able to add a note to the time card by clicking on the pencil icon, and may also add and edit time, as well as approve their time card at the end of the pay period. The approval process is simple and ensures that the employee has made a full review of their time card. This can be accomplished in two ways. First, select specific days by clicking on the yellow image, then hover over Time Card Options and Approve Time Card, then click Approve Selected. The second option is to approve the entire pay period by choosing Approve All Entries. The third option on the left is to view the hours they are scheduled to work, which is specified by their supervisor. Fourth is the option to request time off. This is one of the features that is most utilized because it creates convenience for the employee and saves time for the manager. The employee will choose the category from the drop-down. The options are set specific to your company's requirements. Next, choose the date, the amount of hours, and provide a description. Once the employee clicks Send, the supervisor is notified via email and the request will populate in the administrative portal. Once the request has been approved or rejected, the request will populate in the appropriate section. If the manager makes an adjustment to the request, it will be considered conditionally approved, which means the employee will need to either accept or reject the change. Next, the employees can run an accruals report. The accruals feature will have to be activated before this page calculates. If the settings are in place, the employee can see how many PTO hours are available for a specific date range. This allows the employee to plan their personal time off accordingly. And last, the employee can update their personal information, which includes their password, phone number, and email. Also, the employee has the option to receive an email when their time off request has been approved or rejected, but they have to opt in by checking this box. All of these features are available upon request, and some may have additional fees associated. We will now take a look at the system from the administrative point of view. Once you are logged in, you will notice the site is divided into two frames. The left side is for navigation, and the right will be used for viewing. To start, the right frame is displaying your Welcome Dashboard. This dashboard offers quick stats and quick links to assist you with your daily management, such as employee setup, missing punches, or running a report. You may use the text links as shortcuts to these areas. To the left, beneath the dashboard, you will see time off requests. This page is populated as a result of employees requesting time off through the Employee Self-Service portal. All the information necessary to make the decision is provided. You can see when the request was made, who made the request, and the date in question. For more information, click the arrow. Now you see what type of hours the employee is requesting to use, total hours, available PTO time, and the employee's comment. Up above, a calendar will indicate dates with approved time off requests. You can see which employee that is by hovering your mouse over the date itself. After a full review, you can then approve or reject the request. Either action will prompt an email to the employee if they are set up to receive email notifications. If no email address is provided in the employee setup page, a box will appear allowing you to enter the employee's email address. Once you click Save, the employee will be notified via email and their email address will be saved in the employee setup screen. Next, we see scheduling. The scheduling option is great for keeping employees up to date with what is expected of them. It also helps management ensure coverage and allocate hours for the week. This page allows you to set, view, and/or modify employee schedules. To activate a schedule, simply follow the guided wizard. You also have the ability to compare a schedule to the actual time card and set deviation flags. This is another feature that would need to be discussed with your timekeeping service provider. Back on the left, we will look at the Employee Setup page. A list of the current active employees will appear. The view of this page can be manipulated by right-clicking within the header row and selecting Columns. The page can also be sorted by clicking on the header name. From this page, you can update multiple employee records by checking the appropriate boxes and hovering over Employee Setup options, then work with selected employees. To add a new employee, hover over Employee Setup options, then Add New Employee. Let's take a look. Hovering your mouse over the titles will provide a description of the field's purpose. The mandatory fields needed to collect time are the first name, last name, and login fields. Everything else is dependent on your company's profile. Additional fields can be added, such as birthday or automatic lunch deduction, if necessary. The Employee Data section holds the reporting information. Each field provides an effective date, which will keep a date log of any changes, such as department or supervisor. The bulk of your time as an administrator will be spent in this next area, managing time cards. Yesterday's entries will display multiple time cards defaulting at the previous day's date. You may also change the date from the top left corner. From the time card options, you can view the schedule versus time card, and you have the option to show only missing punches. This makes the editing process quick, especially if it is utilized on a daily basis. To edit time that is incorrect or missing, click the Edit button. To add time or dollars, click the Add button. It is suggested that a comment be added whenever a time card is being edited. This will provide insight if the edit is questioned at a later date. If you would like to add a note to the time card, click on the pencil icon. The notes can be made available for the employees to view and/or edit. Current pay period will list all employees to the left, with the following columns titled M, E, and A. This is missing punches, edited punches, and approvals. Clicking on an individual employee's name will display their time card for the current pay period on the right pane. This page allows edits to be made, notes to be entered, and time card entries to be approved. From the time card options, you can view the schedule versus time card, and you have the option to show only missing punches. To see the full time card again, simply select the Show All Punches option. Another feature to be aware of is the punch details. Hover your mouse over the actual punch or edited punch to view the detailed notes as to where the punch originated. The bottom of the time card will show total hours by category, as well as a combined total. And if accruals are being tracked, the available balance will be displayed. If the employee has time off planned for the future, a remaining balance will also display. We will now go back to the main menu and select the Maintenance menu. This menu provides a number of useful tools, starting with Adjust Accrual Balances. This page allows you to add to or subtract from the current accrual balance, or you can change the balance completely. You may also add an expiration date, which will forfeit the balance if not used on or before the date specified. This is another feature that will require further discussion with your timekeeping service provider. Next, we have the Employee Groups, which is a great tool to make the selection of employees easy in other areas of the website, such as reporting. Groups can be built in two fashions: a list group or a smart group. A list group is determined by selecting specific employees. This must be managed manually in order to add and remove employees from this group. A smart group is built on certain information collected in the Employee Setup page. As an example, if you want to group your employees by department, you would build a smart group by selected criteria. Smart groups require no manual interference once it is set up. Depending on your employee count, this can be a very useful and sometimes necessary tool. Looking to the left again, we will explore Finalize Pay Period. Finalizing a pay period will create a copy of all data which is used for payroll processing, and further edits will be prohibited. You will see the word Final on the time cards where the edit link is typically found. You may unfinalize the pay period if necessary. This step is also required if accruals are being tracked. This function will carry the accrual balances to the next pay period. The Quick Add Time Card Entries feature is used to add hours in bulk, most commonly used to add holiday hours to a group of employees. Simply select the eligible employees, add the date, the type of hours, total hours, and a comment if desired, and click Submit. It's that easy. Holiday hours may also be added automatically. Please contact your service provider for details. Last, the Maintenance menu holds the unmatched punches. This page will hold punches collected from a physical clock that could not be matched to an employee record in the system. This typically happens if a PIN number was entered incorrectly, or if a card was given to a new hire before their information had been added to the timekeeping system. Once the data has been matched, the system will automatically update the information. The next section holds the available reports. Though there are many reporting options, it is possible that you will have a few favorites. I would like to cover 3 in detail, then I will give you an overview of the remaining. The first one I would like to show is the Daily Auto Email Report. I suggest you and your supervisor subscribe to this report, as it will send a daily email of the previous day's punch activity. The subscription can be filtered based on a group that was previously created. This will restrict the employee's information that is provided in the email, if necessary. The next report I would like to mention is the Labor Report. This report is customizable, meaning you can determine what information you would like to report on, starting with the date range and employees. After you click Continue, more data is available for selection. The fields can be rearranged and filtered as desired. The third report is the Download Activity Files, which allows you to export your timekeeping data. Further details on this report can be delivered by your timekeeping service provider. A quick explanation of the remaining reports will start with the Pay Period Summary, which provides a summary of hours that can be sorted and filtered. The next is Pay Period Subtotals, which simply provides total hours per pay category. Next is the Accruals Report. Given the accrual rule has been outlined, you can easily view the employees' balances. You can also view what time cards have or have not been approved with the Approvals Report, track time card edits with the Audit Log Report, view a full detail report which will display in and out times for the entire pay period, report on punch notes that were added to the employee time cards, show total hours for each employee with the summary report, see the time off request history for a specific employee for a specific date range, and last, use the work month and work week reports to determine your full-time versus part-time employees based on their average hours worked. The final section is titled Settings Menu. The first option is the Employee Bulletins, which is where you can add a message for employees to the announcement section of the Employee Self-Service Portal. Simply click Add New to get started. You can determine which employees should see the announcement and how long the announcement should appear on the Employee Self-Service Portal's dashboard. As an example, this option is great to let an employee know of a scheduled meeting, such as an annual review. Login Maintenance is next and allows you to manage your supervisor logins. You can add a new login or make changes to the current logins available. When adding a new login, you will simply click Add New Login, found at the top of the page. Add the ID and password. The passwords need to be at least 8 characters and have 2 different classes of character, such as uppercase, lowercase, numbers, or symbols. After you click Save, you can set the permissions and restrictions for the supervisor. This allows you to determine who and what that supervisor has permission to. In order for your supervisor to receive time off requests via email, an email address must be populated. Next are the processing rules. Here you can view what system features are active per the information given to your timekeeping provider. For example, clock prompts, punch categories, scheduling, holidays, and so on. Back to the left, you can update your personal information. And last, if you have a physical clock, you can verify that your clocks have successfully transmitted by viewing the date and timestamp. Help and support is the last section. The Help link is an online resource available 24 hours a day to assist you in finding answers to your questions. Each article provides step-by-step instructions with screenshots and can be searched by keyword, by site menu, or alphabetically. This section also links to the system's page maps. Page maps provide hints and tips about the timekeeping system and can be searched alphabetically. I would like to thank you for watching this training video. We hope you enjoy your new timekeeping solution, and for further questions, please contact your timekeeping service provider.